Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, where we are doing the local to global challenge. And it's been a while since I've given you guys a local to global video. So before we get started into this, real quick, let me just explain why there's kind of been a lack, I guess, of local to global series or videos, I should say, well, the reason there hasn't really been many videos is because I honestly thought we were done with the series. I made a video a little while back, and I kind of proposed the idea to you guys with the announcement of Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 now coming out. Uh, if there was really any interest in doing the local to global series, because I really doubt that we'd be able to complete the local to global challenge before we get to 2020. And a lot of the comments on that video were pretty much a lot of you saying, you're right, don't do the series, it wouldn't make much sense. And I thought we were done. I figured, if a lot of the comments are that way, then the poll's probably that way too. And I kind of forgot that I did a poll for that video in the first place, to be honest. So a little while back, I thought to myself, just in case, most likely the poll is going to reflect the same thing as the comments did, but let's check the poll just to see what the majority of you guys were saying. And honestly, to my surprise, the winner, most of you guys were saying to keep the local to global series around. A lot of you guys were voted yes to keep it on the channel, and instead of just stopping it and waiting till 2020. So I guess in a way, I'm sorry. Oh, my dog just barked. I wonder what happened out there. I'm sorry to you guys, though. I apologize. I assumed in a way that you guys didn't want to see this series anymore, and I was wrong. So we are going to continue with the local to global series. I read a little bit of comments. In fact, I think one of you even said that there's going to be, I guess, like a save transfer or something to where I can transfer my actual saves from 2016 into 2020. So that'll make things a lot easier if that is possible. But I guess we'll get to that when we get to that. I mean, the only downside is if we do go to 2020 and we want to continue doing what we're doing now, it won't really be a local to global anymore. It will be, I think it's called a tiny to Titanic, and I guess we wouldn't really have done the challenge because we didn't start as a tiny company unless it all adds up. But I don't know, maybe that's just overthinking it. Anyway, let's just stop rambling on here and let's go ahead and start the show. Do you remember from the last episode, I mentioned that we're going to be doing a tournament to determine our first ever IWC regional champion. The regional championship will most likely it'll be our first ever main event championship, but as we get bigger, it'll probably be demoted down to like mid card status and all that as we get into like the world championship. Because I have a problem with being known as a local company but calling our championship a world championship like that. That doesn't make sense to me. You can only really have a world championship if you're like, I don't know, one of those companies that is like viewed by a lot of people, in my opinion. So we are going to be going ahead with the tournament. In fact, here are the, I guess, round one brackets here. So we've got Bob Roop taking on Alex the Butcher. Cousin Slim will take on Alexis Smirnov. Dino Bravo versus Baron von Haithinga. George Holtz versus Frank Fulton. I don't know if that's his name. I think it's Frank Dalton, actually. So there we go. Jerry Monty versus Guillotine Gordon. Jody Arnold versus Jim Alexi. Roger Brown versus Randy Tyler. And Don Savage versus Ripper Savage. So if you're wondering what these things next to them are, that's like mid-carder, main eventer, upper mid, so on and so forth. We're not going to see all these matches tonight. That's going to be over the next couple of months and all that. Eventually, I think leading up to either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I don't remember how it all adds up. Also, here are I think that's the amount of money we had this month. I skipped the month on accident. I think we already talked about that. But here are some of the gimmick ideas that we have right now. If you guys have any gimmick ideas you'd like me to do, go ahead and list them down below. Some of them we're already doing, like Jim Alexi's actually our Elvis impersonator guy. Corrupt President will most likely, we're kind of teasing it already with Jody Arnold. He's the president of the IWC and all that. I spelled his name horribly wrong there. And we got a couple more here as well. Ripper Savage might end up being our biker character, but we got a couple of gimmick ideas here, and keep them coming. If you guys have any gimmick ideas, list them down below, and if I like them, I'll put them in here, and We're going to try to achieve those later on, and just try to keep to the era. We're currently in the 1970s, so don't be like saying, "Hey, do an ambiguous gay character," because that's really not the 1970s. I mean, I guess it could be. I mean, I'm trying to think of something like, don't do like say, "Hey, do a Kanye West kind of character or something." I don't know, or a Donald Trump character, because that's not really in this era. That's like today, you know. So look, try to think of the era we're in, like the 70s. That's just the one thing I kind of ask of you guys when doing the gimmick ideas and all that. Here are our sub goals still. If you have any sub goals, you can also list them down below. And if I like the challenge, I'll go ahead and try to challenge. Right now, we've got raise pop in at least, or to at least 50 regions in 2 areas. And in the next 2 years. And then no luchadors, I'm going to say, for the next 2 years as well. So there we go. All right, let's go ahead and start the show, shall we? So the show's going to open up with the president of the IWC, Jody Arnold. He's standing in the ring in front of the crowd. We're in front of 97 people here tonight, and we're still in just our backyard company or in some parking lot in front of like a mom and pa store or something. I don't know. We're a backyard company right now. We don't have the money to pay people to put our ring up, so we just put the ring up in the backyard. Anyway, Jody Arnold, he's standing in the ring. He's welcoming the crowd. Welcome and thank you everyone for coming out. History begins tonight because I don't know why he's got a Johnny Laurinaitis accent, but he's getting it. Because tonight is the beginning of the historical tournament that'll crown the first ever IWC regional champion towards the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. So with that being said, who's ready to get this tournament started? And then that's when we have some rock and roll music playing over the loudspeakers, probably horribly sounding, by the way. Maybe legit Elvis, because we are a backyard company and we can't really be sued at this time. And out comes Jim Alexi making his debut here. He's having the kind of ladies' man, a.k.a. Elvis Presley kind of impersonator gimmick here. Ladies' man was about the closest thing I could find in the database, so that's what we went with. And out he comes. He's looking like the king. And he interrupts the president. He says, Now, looky here, Mr. Jody Arnold. You may be the president, but I'm the king. And if anyone is ready to get this show on the road, it's the king, Jim Alexi. And tonight, I'm starting my path to glory by going through you, Mr. President. And quick little promo there to get this match underway. Our opening match of the night. Jim Alexi making his debut, in-ring debut as well, against the president, Jody Arnold. And this will be our first match in the IWC Regional Championship Tournament. And it's also the first round, so here we go. 31E+ for that promo. We jump into the match itself. It gets a 37 D- rating. That's pretty good if I say so myself. Decent matchup here. Jody Arnold goes over Jim Alexi in 7 minutes, 43 seconds with the heart punch. So despite, he being the king, Jody Arnold able to pull out the victory here tonight, and he gets a victory over, the Elvis of the IWC, I guess. I don't know. This match did get the crowd hotter. Jody Arnold with an in-ring performance of a 41, and Alexi with a 24. No worker improvements, though. So they met about in the middle with the 37 D-, about what you would expect. We then move on to our next match of the night. Another person making his debut is Frank Dalton. He's got a cowboy gimmick. Pretty generic gimmick, but I think did we have cowboy on here? No. So, never mind. Anyway, he's got a pretty generic gimmick, but he looks the part. He's a cowboy. 24 solid E rating. We have George Holtz taking on Frank Dalton. And about that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Frank Dalton goes over George Holtz in his debut match in 13 minutes, 28 seconds by pinfall using some underhanded tactics there. So Dalton having to cheat to win here tonight, but he still moves on in the tournament nonetheless. So Frank Dalton got a very good on his cowboy gimmick. He was really off his game here tonight. I wonder if it's because he made his debut and he was a little nervous. Anyway, though, this did get the crowd hotter, despite being a worst match. George Holtz with a 25 in-ring performance. Dalton with a 20. No worker improvements, though. And then before we get to our main event of the night, we move on to a 36 D- rating. as Don Savage, who is also making his debut tonight. Kind of a big name, I believe, in our region, the Southwest region. So it's one of the main reasons we picked him up. I think he's one of the most, if not the most paid person in our company right now. Anyway, Don Savage makes his way down to the ring. Probably a big crowd roar, or, reaction, I should say, because, like I said, he is recognizable. And Savage is in the ring. He's getting ready for the main event. And out comes Ripper Savage and Miss Sherry. And once the duo comes out, Ripper can't help but to bring a mic down with him because, as we all know, Ripper Savage is a big mouth. He loves to talk, and he is going to say what is on his chest, what is on his mind. He doesn't have a censor. He doesn't have a little Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder telling him what to say and what not to say. He does what he wants to do. He is Ripper Savage. And if any of you guys have ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm going to kind of make Ripper Savage kind of sound like Kuwabara here, because I don't know, I just get that impersonation that he has like that Kuwabara voice or like that muscle man voice from regular shows. So enjoy. I think it's going to be hilarious. So here we go.
Now wait a minute here. Who the heck is this?
Oh god, this voice is going to kill me. Hold on. Oh, this is going to be a hard voice to do. I didn't think about that part.
Who the heck is Don Savage? You ain't my blood, and you sure the heck ain't my dad. So what gives you the right to come to my show and take my name? There's only room for one Savage around here, and it's the Ripper, baby. And tonight, I'm gonna make an example out of you before I can go on to become the very first ever IWC champion.
And then he gets in the ring, he gets in Don's face, and he goes,
"You got that, punk?"
And, shut the hell up, Taylor. My Ripper Savage voice is excellent, I'll have you say. Anyway, Don Savage, though, he's an All-American. He's kind of, I kind of view him like, maybe our, as we go back to the handy-dandy notepad here, maybe our G.I. Joe / ex-military character. He ain't going to take any crap from Ripper Savage, so he connects with a good right hand, getting the match underway, and here we go. It's main event time. Ripper Savage, Don Savage. Taylor, be quiet. What are you doing? Are you stuck or something? I don't know where my cat went. She could be stuck somewhere. Where'd you go? Hold up. Taylor? I don't know where she's at. I'll get her in a second. You guys might hear a couple meowing for a bit. I don't know. Anyway, Don Savage got an above average on his All-American gimmick, and we started a new storyline here, the real Savage storyline, because they have the same last name. Here we go, main event time, and it's a 31E+. I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought this would have done better. 31E+ rating, and about to have good heat and a decent wrestling, I should say. Don Savage does go over Ripper Savage in 18 minutes, 5 seconds, that's probably why, by pinfall. And, 31E+ rating. That's a bit sad. Ripper was really off his game here tonight, probably because he had to lose. He is getting better at his gimmick. Don Savage was really off his game as well, maybe because it's his debut. Oh, that's a shame. Ripper had an in-ring performance of a 27. Don with a in-ring performance of a 30. So, all in all, good stuff. And Ripper Savage is improving in his Rumble skills. So, Ripper getting better. All in all, the show gets a 32E+ rating. It's okay. And I think we're definitely going to give Jody Arnold and Jim Alexi the congrats here tonight. And that's about it, probably. So let's go to Jody and let's go to Jim Alexi and give them some encouragement. So Jody was pleased and Jim Alexi seemed pleased. Maybe they're outside my room? Or maybe they're in my closet. I did see, I keep saying they're like there's one more cat. But, yeah, I don't know. Let me go look while this is loading real quick. Are you stuck in the closet? Where are you at? Oh, shit. The most professional YouTuber on YouTube right here, guys. Searching for his cat in the middle of a video. I don't know. I'll do it in a second. I don't want to. Who knows how long this is gonna take? Wow, the loading screen's still going. Are you like? Where in the hell did you go? I'm so confused.